There's this powerful, almost invisible force that's probably shaping your investment portfolio right now, and chances are you don't even know it's happening. It's a little something called home bias, and it's this habit most of us have, a tendency to invest only in what feels familiar.
Okay, let's do a quick mental check. Just think about the investments you own. What are the first companies that pop into your head? Are they the big household names you see every single day? The ones you hear about on your local news? Yeah. If your portfolio is starting to look a lot like your own country's stock market, then you are definitely experiencing home bias.
So let's give this thing a proper name. Home bias is simply our natural preference for investing in our own backyard. It's the reason our portfolios often get jam-packed with domestic stocks, even when there's a whole world of opportunity out there. And look, it feels comfortable, it feels safe, but the real question is it actually the smartest strategy for your money?
So why do we do this? I mean, why are we so wired to stick close to home with our money? Well, it's not random. There are some really powerful psychological reasons that are constantly pulling us toward investing domestically. Let's kind of dig into what's going on in our heads.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because it all maps back to our basic human instincts. First up, you've got familiarity. It's simple. We trust what we know. We see these companies every day, we use their products, we hear about them in the news, and all that familiarity feels like a safety net. Then there's this sense of perceived control. We just feel like we get our local economy, right? We think we understand the rules better, which gives us this feeling of being in command. We also try to avoid things that seem complicated, like currency risk. I mean, who wants the headache of dealing with exchange rates? And finally, things just seem simpler at home when it comes to taxes and regulations. All these things together just nudge us, again and again, toward a home-biased portfolio.
But here's the big twist. That feeling of safety? Well, a lot of the time, it's just an illusion. What feels like playing it safe can actually be hiding some pretty serious risks. So let's unpack what those hidden dangers really are.
This slide just lays it out so perfectly. It really is that age-old advice you've heard a million times. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Seriously, think about what happened in Japan during its lost decade in the 1990s. If you were an investor totally focused on the Japanese market, you saw your portfolio basically go nowhere for years, all while other economies were booming around the world. That is concentrated risk in action. A global portfolio, on the other hand, spreads that risk out. So if one market is having a tough time, another one might be soaring. It just gives you a much smoother ride and access to a way bigger pool of potential winners. Okay, so we've seen the problem pretty clearly. But here's the good news. The fix is way simpler than you might think. Let's walk through the actual steps you can take to build a portfolio that's more resilient and, well, more global. It really comes down to 3 simple but super powerful steps. Okay, step 1, educate yourself. Seriously, the more you learn about international markets, the less scary and unfamiliar they seem. That comfort you feel with domestic stocks, you can build that exact same feeling with global ones too. Step 2, use diversified funds. You don't have to become some kind of expert stock picker in a dozen different countries. Global or international ETFs and mutual funds do all the heavy lifting for you. They give you instant diversification. And finally, step 3, monitor your allocation. Just make it a habit. Every once in a while, check in and see how much of your portfolio is at home versus abroad. Just being aware of it can help you stay balanced and keep you from drifting back into that home bias trap.
This right here is the bottom line. It's the key takeaway from our whole conversation. Going global isn't about abandoning your home market, not at all. It's about embracing the entire world of opportunity. A diversified portfolio isn't just a defensive shield, it's actually a strategic tool that can boost your returns while lowering your risk, all by spreading out your exposure.
So, as we wrap up, I'm just going to leave you with this one question to chew on. We live in this deeply interconnected global economy, right? Everything affects everything else. Does your investment portfolio actually reflect that reality? Is it truly built for the world it lives in? Just thinking about that question, that might be the first and most important step toward building a much stronger financial future.